Welcome back to my Hot Wheels collection. I'm Kev Blokey. I'm your host for this one and only championship. Today is the fourth and the final part of round 1, covering races 13 through to 16, shown here in the bottom right hand corner of this bracket chart. Congratulations to the Lexus, the Alpine and the Citroen and the Auburn from the last video, who will now go through to a race, round number 2. So let's have a look at today's races, and they are: in race 13 we have the Lancia Stratos driven by Rich Scott, and that's up against the Riley and Scott Mark III driven by Azel Salt. Race 14 we have the Shadow Mark IIA GNR Vintage Diecast in the driver's seat, and that's up against the Vector Avtec WX3 driven by BWHW 1977. Race 15, the Formula E Gen 2 car, Tom Moore is up against the NAS Metropolitan driven by a wildcard number 7, and another wildcard number 2 is driving the Bentley Continental in race 16, and that's up against the Robo Race Robo car driven by Chaos Canyon. The first driver to win 2 races will advance through to round 2. Let's get on with it. Here we go. So, race 13, heat number 1, lane 1 we have the Lancia, and in lane 4 the Riley and Scott. Gentlemen, under starters orders, and away we go. Yep, clear win there for the Lancia in lane 1. Let's take a look at the replay. They come down the ramp fairly evenly, but once they're onto the flat, the Lancia really goes for it and takes the win in heat number 1. The Riley and Scott will have another chance to equalise things in the next heat. Let's see how he gets on. So the winner there, race 13 heat 1, is the Lancia Stratos by Rich Scott. So heat 2, the lanes are swapped. The Riley and Scott is in lane 1 and the Lancia is in lane 4. Here we go. Oh, clear, oh, bloody, blooming heck. Yeah, clear win there for the Lancia, flipping out as it hits the sandbags at the end of the course. These crazy Italians. Oh, look at that, clear win there for the Lancia, and as I said, it's to celebrate. It goes mental once it crosses the finish line. Commiserations there to the Riley and Scott by Azel Salt, and congratulations to the Lancia of Rich Scott. That will now progress through to round 2 with a 2-0 victory. Going on to race 14, heat 1, lane 1 we have the Shadow Mark IIA GNR Vintage Diecast against the Vector Avtec WX3 driven by BWHW 1977. Here we go. Oh, close race that was, but the Vector takes the win. Let's see how that pans out in the replay. Very even coming down, and indeed all the way along the flat really. Very close race that. But the Vector takes the win in heat number 1. So we'll just confirm that win. Yep, and there we are. Race 14, heat 1 winner, the Vector Avtec WX3. So heat 2 then, the lanes have swapped. Vector is in lane 1, Shadow in lane 4. Oh, I thought the Shadow had that, but no. The Vector takes the second win. Again, very close race. Let's look at that on the slow-mo replay. See, very evenly matched coming down the ramp, and indeed all the way along the run out. But the Vector just pips the Shadow to finish line and takes the win in this heat, and indeed takes the race victory as well. So yep, winner Vector, BWHW 1977. That progresses through to round 2. Congratulations and commiserations to GNR Vintage Diecast. Race 15 then, heat 1, Formula E in lane 1 and the NAS Metropolitan in lane 4. Yep, the streamlining there of the Formula E. Obviously done many favours there over the somewhat cumbersome looking NAS Metropolitan. It takes the win. This is the battle of electric versus the internal combustion engine. And it seems that the electric motors are winning out. Let's see what happens in heat number 2. So yeah, Tom Moore in the Formula E Gen 2 takes the first win. Lanes have now swapped. The NAS Metropolitan is in lane 1 and the Formula E in lane 4. There we go, folks. Batteries win out against the internal combustion engine, it would appear. So a second win there for Tom Moore in that Formula E Gen 2 car. Clear victory there over the NAS Metropolitan. So congratulations to Tom Moore. Confirming in race 15 heat 2 is the Formula E Gen 2 car, and that now progresses through to round 2-0. Race 16 then we have the wildcard driven Bentley Continental, and that's up against the Robo Race Robo car driven by Chaos Canyon. Let's see how the boys get on. Again, it's the battle of the internal combustion against the electric. And the electrics are not messing around today, having taken the victory in that autonomous driven car over the luxury Bentley. Quite even coming down the ramp, but it's a close race, but the Robo Race car, or Robo car rather, takes the victory 1-0. Let's see if things change when the lanes are swapped. So confirming there, Chaos Canyon in the Robo Race Robo car takes heat 1. Heat 2, the lanes have now swapped. Robo car is in lane 1 and the Bentley is in lane 4. There we go, and yet another close race, but the Robo Race Robo car pips out, takes the victory over the Bentley. Yeah, very even coming down there, very even indeed. And that was a very close run race, that was. But congratulations to Chaos Canyon. You will now progress through to round number 2. So confirm the win there. And indeed that will now go through, as I say, to round 2-0. So that's today's racing over and done with. Excuse me. Congratulations to all the winners and commiserations to the losers. Thank you so much for taking part and continuing to watch, comment, like, and hopefully subscribing to this channel. Your support is much appreciated as always. So next time we will go on to round 2. These will be seen over 2 videos, and part 1 will cover races 17 through to 20. We will see you then. In the meantime, this is how the bracket chart now looks after round 1, and we can see in the bottom right hand side, Lancia will meet the Vector in race 23, and in race 24 is the battle of the electrics, with the Formula E going up against the Robo Race Robo car. So have fun, see you next time, bye.